Welcome back, friends, to Navigational Mind. Today's episode is one I've wanted to touch for a while because, honestly, it lives at the heart of what this podcast is all about. Collapse and rebuild. We all fear the moment of breakdown, the burnout that leaves you unable to get out of bed, the sudden intense anxiety, or the emotional crisis where all your carefully built rules and plans fall apart. We treat this as a personal failure, a sign that we are weak or lazy. The Navigational Mind framework offers a radical reinterpretation. Collapse is not a failure of character, it is a structural necessity. Think of your mind as highly complex software running your life. You've been adding new files, running demanding programs, and ignoring the warning messages for months. Eventually, the operating system reaches its limit. It runs out of memory, the old architecture can no longer handle the load, and the system crashes. Collapse is your system's emergency safety mechanism. It is the universe's way of forcing you into a downtime so that the necessary structural reorganization can happen. It is the only way your mind can get honest about one core truth. The way you are currently organized cannot sustain your intended direction. You must stop, wipe the slate clean, and rebuild. The pain of collapse comes from the truths it reveals, truths that your stable, busy mind was actively hiding from you. When the system crashes, it throws a spotlight on three non-negotiable facts. Truth 1. Your real capacity. When you were in an expansion rhythm, you operated as if your energy was infinite. You said yes to too much, and your internal capacity rhythm was screaming warnings that you ignored. Collapse immediately reveals your actual, non-negotiable baseline capacity. The new structure must be built around this honest capacity, not the fantasy you were living. Truth 2. The broken rule. Collapse always points a finger at the fundamental rule that was being chronically violated. If you collapsed from people-pleasing burnout, the collapse reveals that your boundary rules were weak and your autonomy resident was starved. The breakdown is a structural report detailing the precise point of failure in your internal governance. Truth 3. The unprocessed resident. During a collapse, the frightening, chaotic residents that you locked away in the basement, like core shame, intense grief, or unresolved trauma, often surface with intense volume. The collapse forces you to finally attend to these parts that your stable system was too busy to see. Collapse is a profound act of truth-telling by your own system. You cannot use the logic of the ground floor. You cannot power through a collapse. The only way out is through the process of rebuild, which must be defined by radical simplification and structural renewal. First, radical simplification. You must strip the house down to its necessary frame. The only things you focus on are your anchors, the one or two non-negotiable lifelines, and your next true step, NTS. The goal is not productivity, it is retention, holding on to your identity just long enough to stabilize. Second, attend to the basement. You must prioritize the emotional safety of the frightened parts. Rebuild means putting physiological safety and emotional truth-telling ahead of getting back to work. Reassure those residents that the new structure will protect them. Rebuild is complete when the navigation loop is running again. It's not complete when you feel happy. It's complete when you can successfully move from sensing to interpreting to taking a tiny, honest NTS. The goal of the rebuild is to construct a larger, more resilient architecture based on the honest data revealed by the breakdown. Collapse is a hard lesson. but it's the necessary fire that forges a stronger, truer mind, expanding your capacity for the next, larger direction in your life. I've seen this pattern over and over, both with patients and in my own family life. A period of burnout, or even upheaval, maybe a marriage struggle or a job loss, pushes all the neglected stuff to the surface. You slow down, sit with it, and as rough as that is, those anxious, previously ignored feelings become building blocks for a sturdier structure. That's where the next level of capacity comes from. It's never about returning to the old normal, but building a mind and a life that's more honest, more flexible, and stronger against the next storm.